U.S. Customs seized over 1,000 fake driver's licenses at Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville last week.
Several suspected gang members arrested, accused of forcing young girls into prostitution.
What if the real cartel power in America isn't just drugs at the border, but fake IDs, foster kids pulled into trafficking rings, and secret casinos hiding in plain sight? Last week, U.S. Customs seized more than 1,000 fake driver's licenses at Muhammad Ali International Airport in Louisville. At the same time, the DEA carried out raids across Los Angeles, Baton Rouge, and Las Vegas, shutting down illegal clubs, exposing sex trafficking rings, and seizing nearly 2,000 counterfeit IDs.
According to officials, fake IDs have more sinister uses beyond teenagers just trying to get into bars. Sinister problems such as identity theft and fraud.
Tied to cartel networks. These IDs weren't just for underage drinking. They were the keys to money laundering, prostitution pipelines, and gambling operations embedded in American cities. Hi. Before we continue, one click on the subscribe button fuels all the effort behind this and every future video. Let's unpack how this hidden cartel system works and why fake IDs might be the cartel's strongest weapon. Let's start with the raids. At dawn, federal agents stormed a warehouse in downtown Los Angeles. All they had was an anonymous tip. Behind a false wall, they discovered boxes, stacked floor to ceiling, filled with forged driver's licenses, green cards, and passports. Nearly 2,000 fake IDs were cataloged on the spot. Investigators traced them back to a driving school in Flushing, Queens, a small business that turned out to be a cartel pipeline. But this wasn't just about paperwork. Minutes after the LA raid, ICE agents arrested suspects in Monterey Park and Fontana. Neighbors thought it was random, but investigators revealed the truth. These fake IDs connected to a network of cartel-linked businesses, massage parlors, nail salons, and underground clubs. Each ID wasn't just a piece of plastic. It was a passport into America's shadow economy. Think about it. With one fake license, traffickers could rent cars to move victims, open bank accounts to launder cash, or lease apartments for stash houses. Investigators even found ledgers coded with club units and spa units. These weren't harmless businesses. They were fronts, laundering money, hiding drugs, and exploiting vulnerable workers. When agents pushed further, the trail led to a hidden nightclub inside an office tower in LA. From the street, it looked ordinary. Inside, it was a fully built cartel hub, booths, VIP lounges, storage rooms filled with drugs, and illegal gambling equipment. Surveillance showed encrypted radios, rotating doormen, and coded payments. The operation revealed a partnership. Mexican cartels supplied fentanyl and meth. Chinese operators handled money laundering and labor. Together, they rotated crews, trafficked women, and tracked profits like a corporate chain. According to DEA reports in 2025, this collaboration is now common. Chinese and Mexican groups are not just running drugs, they're dominating the illegal marijuana industry.
The Chinese and Mexican drug rings are taking over the illegal marijuana industry. That's according to the latest report from the Drug Enforcement Administration.
Trafficking labor and exploiting immigrant workers who rarely report abuse. And remember those fake IDs? They were the glue holding it together. Victims used them to rent apartments, couriers used them to lease vehicles, and launderers used them to open accounts. Even the evidence folder seized at the LA nightclub had a stamp, Flushing. The same Queens driving school behind thousands of counterfeit licenses. That school in Queens was central. Prosecutors say 3 DMV examiners worked with the school to issue licenses without tests. Clients paid up to $2,000 each. No written exam, no road test, just a clean license. Over 2,000 of these IDs were produced before the school was shut down, and their use went far beyond driving. They became the foundation of the cartel's underground system. Everything from opening bank accounts to checking trafficked women into hotels. The scale of the crime kept expanding. In Los Angeles, federal prosecutors filed the first RICO indictment for human trafficking. The defendants were Hoover gang members accused of running an empire built on vulnerable teens. Many were runaways or foster kids, recruited at just 14 years old. They were drugged, beaten, and even branded. The ringleader was a 25-year-old woman known as Lady Duck, who posted videos of herself beating victims. Motel raids rescued minors, but survivors say the system is broken. Many traffickers were once foster children themselves, and every time police shut down one operation, another springs up with the same pattern. That's exactly what investigators saw in Baton Rouge. A day after the LA raid, agents hit 2 massage parlors. Inside, they found trafficked women, most unable to speak English, forced into prostitution. Cash safes, hidden receipts, and coded ledgers, all pointed back to the same LA pipeline. Conditions were appalling: no licenses, unsafe wiring, and locked back rooms. Local officials called it a disaster waiting to happen. And it didn't stop there. Evidence from Baton Rouge traced money to a suburban home in Las Vegas. Neighbors thought the house was normal, until a SWAT raid revealed a full trafficking operation. Undercover officers posed as clients, finding ads in Mandarin newspapers that promised a new girl every 5 days. Women were rotated constantly, booked by rideshare, and trapped in back rooms. The cartel's rhythm was precise: new ID, new apartment, new account, same money. Everywhere investigators went, the same fingerprints appeared: IDs from Queens, laundering through shell companies, and ledgers coded with spa and club payments. From LA to Baton Rouge, to Vegas, it was all one network, and it was profit. Alongside every raid, agents seized bags of cash, notebooks filled with codes, and prepaid cards tied to shell businesses. Party cash from illegal clubs was recorded as consulting fees at nail salons. Crypto mixers and import companies moved the rest. Millions of dollars laundered each year, all requiring fake identities. That's why U.S. Customs is now intercepting counterfeit IDs at airports. The Louisville seizure of more than 1,000 IDs shows just how big the pipeline is. Many of these IDs are shipped from overseas, then sold for $2,000 each. Inside the U.S., cartels don't need to smuggle drugs when they can smuggle identities. But here's where the story gets even darker. The DEA says these raids are just the beginning. Former ICE officials warn that without breaking the network, the cartel machine will keep running, because arrests only take out small players. Already, analysts say cartel money laundering fingerprints are appearing in places like Colorado Springs, suggesting new hubs are rising. And the Queens pipeline, it's still scaling. A decrypted ledger listed 43 new clients for next month. That means more IDs, more bank accounts, more apartments, and more victims. Cartels aren't afraid. Each raid does too little damage for them to care. So the real question isn't just about the IDs. It's about whether the US can cut the nerve of this system, or whether cartels have already grown too powerful to stop. The DEA calls these raids the first step in dismantling organized crime, but the evidence shows a deeper reality. Cartels aren't just smuggling drugs across the border. They're embedding themselves into U.S. cities with fake IDs, shell businesses, and trafficking pipelines. Foster kids, immigrants, and vulnerable women are being pulled into this underground system, while cartel networks launder millions without fear. The seizures in Louisville, Los Angeles, Baton Rouge, and Las Vegas are proof the threat is real. But unless the U.S. finds a way to dismantle the infrastructure, the IDs, the clubs, the laundering chains, raids alone won't be enough. The cartels are already planning their next chapter. That's all for today's report.